Pop Smoke's death certificate reveals dark truth.
My name was actually Papa. Let me stop it. I'm Panamanian. So my grandma called me Papa, like, you know what I'm saying, since a kid.
Pop Smoke's death shook the world, but no one expected the dark truth that would come to light after the leak of his death certificate. As most of you know by now, Pop Smoke, real name Bashar Jackson, passed away just a few weeks ago. Pop was staying in a rental home in Hollywood Hills owned by Real Housewives star Teddi Mellencamp and her husband. Reports tell us that 4 gunmen broke into the home and shot Pop multiple times, which proved to be fatal. He was rushed to a hospital where the doctors operated but failed to save his life. The Brooklyn-based drill rapper was only 20 at the time of his death. It's been weeks since Pop Smoke's passing, and although we still don't know who took his life, Pop's death certificate sheds light on a truth no one expected. Today at Lime Report, we'll be taking a closer look at his passing and what his death certificate actually tells us. Before we get started, please remember to leave a like, subscribe, and comment keyword Meet the Woo for a chance to win our $100 Amazon gift card giveaway. Make sure to stay tuned. You won't want to miss a single thing as we uncover the chilling truth unlocked by Pop Smoke's death certificate. The tragic news of Pop Smoke's death came at a time when things were already looking pretty bad for the music industry. 2019 saw the likes of Nipsey Hussle and Juice WRLD sadly pass before their time. Pop Smoke is just the most recent name on the list of stars to go too soon. After taking off on a trajectory no one had seen the likes of since Queen's native 50 Cent, Pop Smoke's life and budding career were cut short. Following his passing, everyone has been wondering 2 things: who killed Pop and how did he die? Rumors have spread far and wide as to who is responsible for the death of the young star. Social media investigators were quick to accuse Pop Smoke's friend and brother Mike D. The two were photographed together just hours before the shooting, and some fans claim Mike's irresponsible posting caused the tragic incident. Others blamed Pop himself for leaking his own address. Speculations like this have received harsh feedback from fans who have come to Mike D's defense. While it's hard to pinpoint what exactly happened, it's equally tough to dispute the fact that the posts helped Pop Smoke's invaders find him. Whatever the case, someone took notice and took advantage. At this time, no one has an idea of who killed Pop Smoke, but as new information is released, we are able to put more of the puzzle together as to how he died. The obvious stands out that he was shot and killed, but people have survived gunshot wounds before. So what happened on the operating table? Since his death, little information has been provided. This is what we know so far. Pop Smoke was known to have gang ties in Brooklyn, and so he naturally moved with caution in his neighborhood. The same can't be said for his fresh new lifestyle in California. He was seen partying all day and night before his death and returned home early Wednesday morning around 4 a.m., and reports tell us that his home was only deadbolted shut. The home alarm system was unarmed. Just 10 minutes later, security footage caught 3 men in front of the home with another man seen entering through the back door. The group of men broke into the home and shot Pop Smoke multiple times before fleeing the scene. Police report that little to no valuables were taken, likely ruling out a robbery. So what happened from the time he was shot until he was pronounced dead? Stay tuned as we reveal the tragedy uncovered by his death certificate. When police and paramedics arrived on scene, Pop Smoke was lying on the floor wounded and bleeding out quickly, but still alive. The paramedics performed CPR on Pop as they rushed him to Cedars-Sinai Medical Center. There, he was brought to an operating room where doctors performed surgery in an effort to save his life. Pop Smoke had been shot sometime between 4 to 4:30 a.m. in his Hollywood home. Based on his death certificate, Pop was pronounced dead at 5:12 a.m. that day. With such a small window from the incident to the hospital, we can only wonder what happened on the operating table that early morning. Thanks to his death certificate, we now have the answers we need to the question: how did Pop Smoke really die? Was there anything more his doctors could have done to save him? Pop Smoke was gravely injured and bled out quickly on their way to the hospital. The operating doctors performed a full thoracotomy on Pop Smoke in an effort to save his life. A thoracotomy is a procedure that requires doctors to open the victim's chest, most likely in an attempt to remove the bullets. From the timeline established, it can be determined that doctors were only able to operate on Smoke for 20 to 30 minutes before he bled out completely. The death certificate credits a gunshot wound to the torso to be the cause of Pop Smoke's death. Were his wounds and internal bleeding too much for the doctors to be able to revive him? The certificate seems to confirm this theory, stating that the time between the shooting and Pop Smoke's death was rapid. When the news of Pop Smoke's death first broke, his family immediately headed to California and were heavily involved in the investigation. Along with dealing with law enforcement, the family had also been handling much of the rapper's music business with his label and lawyers in LA. They made arrangements and quickly returned to New York to heal and grieve with their loved ones. What happened to Pop Smoke's body? Doctors tried to save his life by opening his chest after he was rushed to the hospital, but were unable to save him despite their best efforts. Pop Smoke died at Cedars-Sinai Medical Center on Wednesday, February 19th at 5:12 a.m. After he was pronounced dead, arrangements were made by Pop's parents to have him transferred to his native Brooklyn home where his funeral was to be held. Pop's closest friends and family held a private memorial service to honor and remember him on the weekend following his passing. It was not his formal funeral, but the family stated they needed time to grieve and take care of formal business before transporting his body. 2 weeks after his death, Pop Smoke was finally laid to rest in his hometown of Brooklyn. Fans of his gathered during the funeral proceedings to pay tribute to the late young star. "You would never see this bleep before Pop Smoke. We're united," one fan could be heard yelling in the video documenting the late rapper's funeral procession. In clips uploaded by fans on Twitter, Pop Smoke's casket is seen on a carriage-like hearse pulled by 2 white horses. The hearse was followed by Pop's friend and mentor 50 Cent's Lamborghini, though 50 Cent was not driving the vehicle. The carriage was covered in glass, with the curtains pulled back so fans could see the casket. Fans could be overheard in the video shouting out "Woo" as homage to the rapper, as Pop Smoke's famously deep vocals delivered the words "You should enjoy yourself" on an unreleased track that blared from a subwoofer of his SUV at the center of the procession. Everyone followed his orders. Pop Smoke was laid to rest in the historic Greenwood Cemetery, south of Prospect Park. Pop Smoke, though young, quickly became a staple in the Brooklyn community. The family issued a statement prior to his funeral stating, "The family of Bashar, Pop Smoke Jackson, would like to express our sincere gratitude to everyone for their support. Every prayer, call, act of kindness is deeply appreciated as we mourn the loss of our son, brother, and friend. Brooklyn was the backdrop for all that Bashar loved." The family goes on to request fair and accurate reporting as false statements and testimonies have hurt the investigation so far. The world has been watching and has to wonder, was there anything else doctors could have done to save Pop Smoke? We can only wonder, as there's no way for anyone to ever know what happened in the operating room aside from the doctors. Many are shocked to find out how quickly he died after entering the hospital. The problem with a bullet wound, especially to the chest, is that it has a likelihood of injuring multiple organs at once, making it difficult for doctors to stop the damage and bleeding in time. Pop Smoke will forever be remembered as the star that brought drill to Brooklyn. Though we may never see him again in the physical world, many of his loved ones plan to carry on his legacy. The family is currently making arrangements to start a foundation in his name. It is unclear at this time what the foundation's goal is at this moment. However, it has a massive support from its fans already. Pop Smoke's passing has been tough on the world. The music industry has lost so many artists in the last few years, from XXXTentacion to Mac Miller, Juice WRLD to Nipsey Hussle. Some to the unfortunate battle of drug addiction, others to gun wounds. Here at Lime Report, we understand that times like these are difficult and want to express our deepest condolences to anyone affected by the tragic deaths of these stars. They will be missed. The most unsettling thing about Pop Smoke's murder is the fact that no clear motive can be pinpointed. Some believe that the star may have been a target of rival gangs. Though police have looked into the angle, they have their doubts. No signs at this point to any rival gang members traveling from the East Coast to pull off the hit. Some speculate that a hit may have been contracted long distance. Others believe it could have been the work of a traitor in the midst of Pop Smoke's camp. Regardless of the situation, it is a tragedy, and Pop Smoke's place will never be forgotten in this lifetime. May he rest in peace. Could doctors have done more? It's hard to say. Surgeries are complicated business. We hope and wish these days that technology is enough to save our loved ones. However, that's not always the case. Bashar Jackson was loved, admired, and respected by all he crossed paths with. Pop Smoke touched the hearts of all that experienced his presence physically or through his music with his charisma and unique style. This is exemplified by 50 Cent's desire to finish the album Pop Smoke alluded to have been working on, and the community support for his mission. The day of his funeral, his beloved neighborhood came together in a way that would make the late rapper proud. Pop Smoke's death is a true loss for the world. We can only wonder what could have become of Brooklyn had he survived. However, his death united the city in a way they had not seen in a long time. Unfortunately, we still are not certain who killed the young legend, or frankly why, and we will never know what happened on the operating table. Yet there is some peace in knowing how he really died at least. Who do you think is to blame for the loss of Canarsy's son? Could doctors have done more to save his life? Let us know what you think in the comment section, and remember to like, subscribe to our channel, and enter keywords Meet the Woo for a chance to win our $100 Amazon gift card giveaway. Thanks for tuning in to Lime Report.
Benny Jewel.
And these crimes, it's only 2 places, you know what I'm saying? I don't be tripping when the homeboys go to jail. Like,
Yes, of you barking.
I don't know what that was, man. I think I was just like
I just had to like scream or real life bark or something.
Jewelry.
Off-white, you ain't never seen this before.
I have not. That's the Virgil discount?
Hold on.
Continuous cycle, you know?